all the technical developments in modern weapons, success in combat still hinges on one factor: man, the human element. For it is you, the individual soldier, who must meet the enemy on the ground, defeat him, and occupy his territory. This is the assembly area of 2nd Squad, 1st Platoon. The squad has received its warning order and is now preparing for the coming attack. These preparations include distribution of extra ammunition and rations, checking weapons and equipment, and setting battle sites. Schaefer here has just joined the squad as a rifleman replacement. The Infantry Rifle Squad is the smallest tactical unit in the United States Army. It consists of a squad leader and 2 fire teams, Alpha and Bravo. Each team has a team leader, a rifleman, a grenadier, and an automatic rifle. Bravo has 1 extra rifle. Only 10 men, but when properly employed, and with each man doing his share, your rifle squad is a fighting team that is hard to stop. This is Sergeant Collins, the squad leader. He is just back from platoon headquarters. He received the attack order and made a visual reconnaissance of the area over which his squad will attack. He studied the terrain and checked the ground for cover, concealment, and good avenues of approach. Based on this reconnaissance, he made plans for the attack and decided which formations he will use. Reconnaissance reports the enemy is dug in on this hill. Several small groups of enemy have been sighted in this area. The platoon will cross the line of departure at 1200 hours to seize this high ground. 1st Squad will be on the left of 2nd Squad. 3rd Squad on the right for the assault on the final objective. There will be a 10-minute artillery and mortar preparation on Objective Sierra, the intermediate objective, and Objective Tango. The squad will cross the line of departure at this point and move along this route to seize the intermediate objective. Then the squad will rejoin the platoon for the attack on Objective Tango. 2nd Squad will be the lead squad and move out in squad column, fire teams in column. It is the base squad. Alpha team is base team throughout and will be on the right for the assault on both objectives. 2nd Squad will consolidate on Objective Tango from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the direction of assault. Final coordination lines for Objective Sierra and Tango are indicated on this sketch. Ammo will be resupplied at Objective Tango. Company 8 post will displace to Objective Sierra on order. The platoon leader will be behind the 2nd Squad. The 1st platoon moves out in 30 minutes. At 11:15 hours, 1st platoon moves out of the assembly area in column formation. The order of movement is 2nd Squad, Weapons Squad, 1st Squad, 3rd Squad. As you move forward, search your area of responsibility for indications of the enemy. At H-5, the supporting weapons begin the preparatory fires, which will make the enemy take cover and reduce his effectiveness. The enemy is able to return its own planned artillery and mortar fire. When you receive indirect fire, you must move rapidly through or around the impact area. And in no circumstances should you stop to take cover. The squad movement is so regulated that the men move through the attack position without stopping and cross the line of departure at the specified time, 1200 hours, H hour. The men are alert. Their weapons ready. Each man searches his area of responsibility. The squad comes under unexpected small arms fire prior to reaching the intermediate objective and returns fire immediately. If you are unable to see the enemy, move to a position where you can place well-aimed fire. In moving, take advantage of all available cover and concealment. Fire rapidly at any enemy you observe or at suspected enemy locations. Sergeant Collins looks around and locates a covered approach to the enemy's right flank. He signals the Alpha team leader to increase Alpha's rate of fire. And Bravo team leader to follow him on a maneuver left. The squad leader is using the technique of fire and maneuver. The mission of the maneuver element, in this case Bravo team, is to close with and destroy the enemy. This movement is supported by the base of fire laid down by the members of Alpha team. The men fire rapidly and accurately to maintain fire superiority. The maneuver element's principal job is to continue the advance toward the enemy. It uses available cover and concealment to the maximum, creeping and crawling when necessary. When Bravo reaches the covered approach, the men move to positions from where they can assault the enemy flank. The enemy position is pinpointed. As Bravo prepares to assault the enemy, Alpha continues to lay down a base of fire. With this fire superiority, Bravo assaults. Assault fire is characterized by volume, accuracy of fire, and aggressive movement. It is meant to demoralize and kill the enemy. Riflemen advance rapidly, firing either from the shoulder or underarm position. The automatic rifle is fired from the underarm position in short bursts. Grenadier is alert for targets which may hinder the assault. Assault fire also keeps the enemy down until he is killed or captured. The team leader moves in the center of his team, setting the example for his men. The squad leader moves behind the line where he can control the assault. As the maneuver team closes with the enemy, it masks the fires of Alpha, which now displaces forward to rejoin Bravo. Meanwhile, Bravo has eliminated the enemy resistance and set up security. Be sure to search the enemy dead for papers, letters, or anything else which might be of intelligence value. Perhaps the duty roster with the unit designation. Sergeant Collins will pass this paper on to his platoon leader as soon as possible. With the unexpected resistance eliminated and the first platoon machine gun supporting by fire, second squad continues on its way to seize objective Sierra. The squad deploys into line formation prior to crossing the final coordination line. The final coordination line is a pre-designated line used to coordinate the lifting and shifting of supporting fires and the final deployment of a unit about to assault. It is located as close to the enemy as attacking troops can move before becoming dangerously exposed to friendly indirect fires. At the same time, the first platoon leader has the company 81 millimeter mortar fire shifted from objective Sierra to objective Tango. These fires include smoke rounds to help prevent the enemy on Tango from observing the attacking element. With the shifting of the mortar fires to objective Tango, the enemy on objective Sierra is now able to place aimed fire on the squad. Effective enemy fire prevents an assault. Sergeant Collins decides to advance by fire and movement. This technique consists of one fire team, in this case Bravo, establishing a base of fire to pin down the enemy. While the other team, Alpha, advances toward the objective. Alpha advances as far as it safely can, depending on cover and concealment and the effectiveness of enemy fire. It now supports by fire the advance of the Bravo team. This manner of fire and movement by teams continues until the squad gains fire superiority. With the elimination of an automatic weapon, the squad gains fire superiority and moves into the final assault. At this time, the machine gunners shift their fire to objective Tango. You may have difficulty in locating definite targets. Don't make the mistake of withholding fire. An assaulting squad needs all the force and violence it possesses. Force and violence are security. You must deliver steady fire at known or suspected enemy positions. If your fire is continuous, the enemy does not know whether he is seen or not, and he will stay down in his hole or fire hurriedly and inaccurately. The assaulting squad now closes with the enemy. It assaults with so much force, the enemy panics and tries to run. The assault fire pays off. Make sure no live enemy have been bypassed. When the objective has been rapidly consolidates and reorganizes. You must quickly take up positions to meet a possible counterattack. Your squad leader will come by and check your position and status of ammunition. Now, Sergeant Collins notifies his platoon leader that the objective is secure. He's moving out to rejoin the platoon. The platoon leader requests artillery and mortar concentrations on the objective. The supporting artillery and the company's 81 millimeter mortars found the objective with high explosive and smoke shells. The supporting fires blast holes in the enemy's wire. Upon approaching the final coordination line, the platoon leader signals for a platoon line formation. At this command, each squad leader deploys his men on line. The platoon leader begins lifting the indirect fires which have been pounding the objective. As the indirect fires are lifted, the platoon machine guns increase their rate of fire on the enemy. Under less pressure from the indirect fires, the enemy in the second squad's area of responsibility takes the squad under fire. The squad faces a difficult task. In order to seize the objective, it must first get through the enemy's tactical and protective wire, then gain fire superiority. One of the men points out a break in the tactical wire. Sergeant Collins decides to move the squad into the enemy position by fire and movement. Under the covering fires of Alpha, Bravo negotiates the wire. Each man finds a covered and concealed position and quickly begins rapid fire. Now, with the entire Bravo fire team engaging the enemy, Alpha negotiates the wire. Sergeant Collins is hit. Sergeant Borden, the senior team leader, takes charge of the squad. He makes a quick estimate of the situation and decides to advance the teams by bounds, employing fire and movement again. Effective enemy fire hits the squad before the rush is completed. The effectiveness of enemy fires will determine the number of men who can be moved forward at the same time. In this situation, the enemy's strong firepower dictates fire and movement by moving only 2 men forward at one time under the supporting fires of the rest of the squad. In the face of continued effective enemy fire, Sergeant Borden decides to move the men forward just one at a time. This technique gives the squad maximum firepower and still permits the forward movement. the enemy fire, you must keep moving. You must get through the enemy's protective wire and continue the assault. In this situation, the N-79 grenade launcher is used effectively. It fires a high explosive round with an effective casualty radius of 5 meters. With the squad's most dangerous threat eliminated, Sergeant Borden signals his team leaders to negotiate the protective wire. This movement is conducted under the covering fires of the rest of the squad. It will continue until the entire squad has passed through the wire at 2 points. The squad has worked its way forward by fire and movement to within 30 meters of the enemy position. However, because the enemy's fire is still effective, the squad cannot assault the objective without incurring excessive casualties. Sergeant Borden decides to work his way into the enemy position at its most vulnerable point, the destroyed machine gun emplacement. The squad now increases its rate of fire. Alpha covering the enemy's left flank, Bravo the right. As Sergeant Borden and Schaefer work their way closer to the enemy machine gun position, the rest of the squad continues its high rate of fire into the remaining enemy positions. Borden widens the break in the enemy's left flank. Schaefer eliminates a rifleman on the enemy's right flank. Courage, determination, and teamwork pay off. As the enemy's left flank is rendered ineffective, Alpha shifts its fire to the right flank position, which now receives the full impact of both teams. With the positions neutralized, you cross over the objective to the reverse slope. Prisoners should be searched immediately, then turned over to the platoon leader for disposition as soon as possible. The squad leader, assisted by his team leaders, consolidates the position and reorganizes the squad. Security is posted. Individuals cover likely avenues of approach. Sectors of fire are coordinated. Automatic riflemen select principal directions of fire. Ammunition is redistributed. Casualties and prisoners are evacuated. The squad leader now reports to his platoon leader the accomplishment of his mission, the strength of his squad, and his requirements. Second squad has accomplished its mission with a minimum of casualties. This achievement was made possible by detailed planning, aggressive leadership, and consistent teamwork. These elements, coupled with the effective use of fire and maneuver, assault fire techniques, and fire and movement, spell victory for the rifle squad in attack.